So I finally got a chance to start using Clo, and it's been interesting so far. Many colleagues have said it's really easy to use, and if I can use Browzwear, Clo will be a breeze. Well, let's see. Both Browzwear and Clo are important 3D tools for the fashion industry. And although they both provide a similar end product, they do it in very different ways. So I've been working in and learning Browzwear, but I wanted to see how different Clo was. And to do a true apples to apples comparison, I wanted to create the same garment that I did in this video to compare the steps. So let's see how to do this in Clo. The first thing I'm going to do is add an avatar to the project. Not only does that allow me to actually see my garment rendered on a body in 3D, but it also gives me a visual size reference if I'm creating a pattern from scratch. Then I'll go into the garments folder and add the basic t-shirt. Double click it to bring it into Clo and then press the simulation button to see the garment rendered on the model. Like Browzwear, there's a 2D and 3D window. The navigation is slightly different though. Zooming in and out with the scroll wheel is the same, but unlike Browzwear, you have to use the third button, the scroll wheel, like literally press it to move around each window, like the hand tool in Illustrator. That took a second to get used to. So to make the style line on the front of the tee, you need to use the internal polygon line tool to draw it. And it works very similarly to Browzwear and Illustrator's pen tool. Now the front pattern is linked, meaning if you draw on one side, it automatically creates a symmetrical line on the other side. So when I first draw the line, it looks like this. In order for me to get an asymmetric line across the pattern, I need to select the front pattern, right mouse click and choose Remove Linked Editing so that they're no longer linked. Now when I draw that line and double click to end it, it just leaves the one new style line across the pattern. Select the line, right mouse click and choose Cut and Sew. This will cut the style line into the pattern and also automatically add the virtual sewing to those lines. The last thing I'm going to do is add some color, and to do this I'm going to navigate to the object browser on the right side of the page. When I select the material and open the property editor, all the material properties including the color appear. Scroll to color, click the white color square and a color table appears. Like Browzwear, you can add your own color with .aco or .asc files from Photoshop or Illustrator, but I'm just going to pick from the available colors. Once I choose the color, it recolors the whole top, but I want the lower front panel to be a different color. So I'm going to select and copy the current fabric, change the color, and then assign that fabric to the lower section by selecting that pattern piece, and then in the object browser, hitting the arrow to the right of the fabric. And that's it. Pretty quick and painless. Okay, so let me tell you what I like. I like having the avatar reference in the 2D window. Even though you're going to eventually use actual measurements for patterns, it's nice to have that as a reference for how big or small to make shapes. I like that there's only one step to cut and sew the new style line I created. It was like 2 or 3 steps in Browzwear. I did like that I seem to create this tee pretty quickly, which I would expect since this is a simple garment. But overall, I think I'm still team Browzwear. That may change as I use the program more, but I like Browzwear's streamlined interface. Clo has a lot of tools, but it's almost overwhelming. Also, more of Browzwear's tools and functionality mimic what I do on my smart devices and in my current workflow. So even though it seemed quicker, I still think it was easier to figure out how Browzwear worked. Now, I'm just starting and doing more basic stuff. Who knows? I may eventually migrate to Team Clo. I will say though, If you're interested in learning 3D, you'll get great results with either program. Thanks for watching today's video. As I mentioned in both videos, knowing Illustrator has come in really handy. So if you need to learn that program, click the link in the description to take my Illustrator for Fashion online course. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time.